It's loading up now.
Right.
Slowly. Would you mute yourself? Or that was me?
I am muted.
There you go. Peace and love, friends and family. Yo, this shit crazy.
Boy River
Yo, peace and
Soul
love,
is
friends and
muted.
family. Welcome to the highly emotional podcast, live.
We live. We live. Okay.
Um, I'm just trying to get it set up so people can find it. What'd you call this? Friday night what? What's
Fellowship Fridays.
Fellowship Fridays? Let's do it like that. Fridays. What the fuck just happened? Fellowship Fridays. Come chat. Boom. That's dope. Where your camera at? I don't even see you.
Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, let's get it. Yeah, bro. So I wanted to start doing this chat. Um, just to talk about everything that's like happening now. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people pushing propaganda. It's a lot of fake shit going on where people are starting to like, you know, get caught up on like the bullshit that's happening in the world when especially when it comes to like politics, when it comes to, the Diddy situation, when it comes to just just like I want to say like the news, the media. And it got people in a sense like so tuned in that it's fucking up the vibration, it's fucking up the frequency. And like I tune into it, but I don't allow it to consume me because I realize that when it comes to the media, when it comes to politics, when it comes to like all the bullshit that is going on in the mass market television and whatnot, it's really to control your energy and to sabotage how you feel. You know what I'm saying? The moment that we become emotionally attached to this bullshit is the moment that we compromise ourselves and then we're being controlled by the world, the lower vibration, the old earth, however you want to chop it up. So that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. That's what I wanted to tap into. So yeah.
Yeah. But like, 90% of that, no, 95% of that is just distractions from everything. It's distractions from self, it's distraction from what's really going on behind the scenes or what's really taking place. Like all of it is just noise to keep us, in a certain space, focusing on the things we need to focus on. Like, why is Diddy the biggest thing in media right now when there's so much other things going on in the world that we should be talking about or that needs the attention? You know, like I get it. Diddy is Diddy in America, but there are other things in America that I think deserve more light on the media, especially with what's going on in our own country.
And what do you mean far as like what are you or can you expound on what you mean like what's happening in our own country?
I mean, there's just so much. Like, all right, for one, there's a lot of misinformation going on with things that are happening as far as tied to the politics. Like we was just talking about that earlier, about Mr. Donald Trump, and how the media will say one thing. They'll say he said this or he's doing this. But then when you do research, actually read, like, for example, the executive orders he signed certain executive orders for Social Security. They keep saying, oh, he's going to take away Social Security. He's going to cut Social Security when he already said he's not doing anything with Social Security benefits except for the fraud in Social Security. That's what's getting taken away. People who don't qualify, meaning illegal immigrants and people that are like over 100 that aren't even probably not even alive anymore. That's what's getting cut out of Social Security, the fraud. But they'll post a um, they'll post in the media saying he's taking away benefits to put people in fear and think that he's taking away their Social Security benefits when that's not the case. So it's all like a fear campaign to keep you in fight or flight mode so they can, control you. That's one level of control. There's so many different levels of control going on, but that's just like base level control. That's just one example.
Yeah, when I be looking at like the Donald Trump situation, I realize that a lot of it is like it's a energy siphoning, like the whole NBA YoungBoy being pardoned, bro. That's to make niggas think that Donald Trump is cool. Like, to be honest, I like, in my opinion, I feel like both of them, like, no matter what you may believe, no matter what they tell you, no matter what they try to sell you, what when it comes to politics, all politics is the opposition of uh anyone who is operating from their spirit. You know what I'm saying? Is when you look at politics, it's like they kind of like, in a sense, like hanging a stake in front of you if you a dog on a treadmill and you running. It's like they give you something to keep you entertained, to keep you, like, it's like catnip. Like, to keep you tuned, to keep you in touch. They give you something to make you believe that this is what's really important, but it's not. And then I look at like the other things that are happening. It's so many things that are happening, like when it comes to like the cost of living, the cost of survival. Like, this shit is really destroying our people, because there's more people now that are struggling than it was 5 years ago. Like, to be honest, it's more people out here like needing help from the government that can't get help from the government, but yet the government wants them to be able to rely on them. But in a sense, people can't really rely on the government anymore. And it's like, with our age of people, like us and younger, when it comes to politics, when it comes to like political campaigns and the things that they're trying to accomplish, it doesn't really appeal to us. Like, a lot of us aren't really tuned in. And so therefore it's like they give you, oh yeah, we pardon NBA YoungBoy. That's for the black community and the young community. Then they did the Larry Hoover thing, who's not even really free. You know what I'm saying? They did that so black people be like, yeah, Donald Trump, right? And then they have this Diddy situation where it's like, if Donald Trump pardons Diddy, you have to understand, like, that's gonna make a lot of people feel weird. And mainly, to be completely honest, it's mainly black people who are energetically affected by the Diddy case. White people don't care that much about it. They don't give a fuck about it. But because it's mass marketed media, all of our people, like, we so like, yo, Diddy, he was looked at as the GOAT. He was looked at as this, and that. And so therefore we see this happening, and our people are like, bro, I can't believe that this man that I looked up to, and I wanted to sign, and Bad Boy and Tupac and this and that. We're affected by it. But bro, these people are just living a life. And I'm saying white people. It's not all white people, it's a certain type of standard of people, but they're not affected by the Diddy shit that's happening. The Shade Room, like it's crazy that the Shade Room is posting the whole, like, the Diddy shit, the whole trial, right? The whole trial every day. But nobody wants to talk about the whole Tory Lane situation. Nobody wants to talk about the evidence that's been coming out that literally is technically saying that Tory Lanez is innocent and he's been in jail. And what I don't like also, bro, is that the fact is like, it's glorified that Tory Lanez went to jail as a revenge plot, but now niggas think that is cool, especially in like the feministic community. They think that it's cool that Tory Lanez got stabbed 14 times, 15 times, bro. Like, when will people be satisfied? And that's the thing. It's like, I look at the community of like the black culture community, similar to how I be looking at like Redskins fans, right? Whenever I lived in DC, The Redskins fan, they get a new quarterback, right? This nigga, soon as he come in, they like, yo, we got a new quarterback, RG3. First game, bro, get sacked 3 times. Bro, fuck that quarterback. Put this person in, right? That's how it is when it comes to the community. We so quick to turn against our people instead of investigating. And that is what I disagree with what's happening. Is like, y'all posting this Diddy trial knowing that it's a energetic siphoning, but yet y'all not really expounding and diving into the whole Tory Lane situation. We don't want to talk about that. We'll stay away from that. It's
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah, like to go back to what you said, it's all part of the media manipulation because just to touch back on your point, I seen that video of Trump talking about the Diddy case, right? But one thing you gotta pay attention to is he didn't bring that up. They purposely asked him that. He wasn't even thinking about that. They just asked him that to make it a point, to make it a clip. They said, "What do you think about the Diddy case? And would you pardon him?" And he was like, "You would ask me that. I haven't, thought about it. I've seen it. They've been covering it." But that's the thing. They made him talk about it. He wasn't even. That's not something that was on his agenda. And what you said about the government, you're right. I mean, they both are from a structure. They both come from the same. It's two heads of the same body. And but Trump is cutting. By what he's doing right now, he's cutting all these programs and cutting down, minimizing the government. Is going to force people to take accountability for themselves and get back to self and governing for yourself and learning how to be sovereign and learning how to do things on your own and do more for yourself and do more for your community. Because we're going to have to come together as a community in order to survive now, just like how it was back in the day. I was just talking with one of my mans the other day about, we was like, man, it's crazy to think that we never asked, none of us on this earth asked to be here, but we were born. And now we have to pay to be alive on this planet. We
Mm.
are the only group of people on this planet who have to pay to live. Animals, they live freely. You know, we are the only living beings on this planet who have to pay to live. And it's because we've gotten away from things that we needed to do to sustain ourselves, these skills, learning how to farm, learning how to hunt, learning how to build houses, learning how to just basic necessities of survival skills. We're getting we become reliant on other things outside of ourselves to the point where now, if all this shit was to shut down, 90% of the population would just die because we don't know how to do anything. If the
That's
internet, if
facts.
the internet shut down today for like a week, it would be chaos outside. It would literally be chaos outside. And something else I wanted to say. What else did you was talking about? Something else. What else did you say? Oh, the
I was
Tory Lane
saying,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, and Tory Lanez, man, like they have everything that he's been saying now. They're lining up all of the evidence that's proven everything that he said was true. And the media is not covering it as much as they were covering, oh, he's guilty, oh, this, oh, he did this, stop playing his music. And that's what they do because negativity, for some reason, just seems to spread more. And that's all they care about is spreading negativity. Like, one more example I wanted to give, like, this boxer named Devin Haney. He lost the fight to Ryan Garcia, and Devin Haney was an undisputed champion. Lost the boxing match to Ryan Garcia, who they found out was on PEDs, performance enhancement drugs, and he
mm,
still was clown for all that. He's still getting clown to this day. They made memes, and it's been proven that this guy was on steroids, and they still clown him. So it's just like we don't care about nothing but making you look bad. We don't care about nothing but promoting negativity. We don't care about nothing but shaming. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what sells. That's what everybody gravitates to. It's just crazy.
yeah. And that's it goes back to what I said, bro. Is like, I feel like this culture needs to die, bro. We need to like, it needs to be a new era in which we like reprogram everything, bro. Like, even when it comes to validation of a man, when it comes to all these structures and concepts that we've been taught to believe, it needs to be rewritten, bro. Like at this point, bro, I'm sorry. We need to create a new party, a new formality of who's running for president, bro. None of these presidents that have been in office the last couple campaigns can relate to you and me. Even them putting Kamala in office, there's nothing you can show me or tell me that she relates to black women like my mom, black women like my sister. It don't matter who you got twerking on the campaign. It don't matter. None of that shit matter to me because at the end of the day, I know that you never had the real struggle of what a black woman come from a poverty stricken environment has to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how they try to glamorize and glorify that they appreciate and understand the black community, they really don't. But at that same time, at the same time, we have to create a new structure in which we sit here and say, all right, well, this is actually black excellence. Right now, black excellence to us black people is Beyonce, Jay-Z, LeBron James. Like that's black excellence, right? But at the same time, those people became successful by building their campaign, their wealth on the fortitude of black people. Like really putting black people down, bro. Like pay my bills. That's not an empowering song for black women to build a home with a man. That's not. So when you look at these people in which you saying black excellence, that's not black excellence. Michael Jordan is not black excellence. You know how many people then died that bought Jordans? You know how many niggas is dying now over Jordans? That's not black excellence. Like, and I said this before, black excellence to me is probably only a few, and at the top of my head I can go Kyrie because he didn't compromise who he was for his truth. And when he gave y'all the information, he put it in front of you guys and he said, "Hey, y'all take the information, bro. I'm not about to sit here and compromise what I believe." The nigga never got the shot. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. It's like what happens is when it comes to politics, they get somebody who they say represents the black culture for you to compromise. Like, yo, go vote for Kamala. We got Glorilla and make the stallion up here twerking. When they put Hillary up there, oh, she put hot sauce in her bag. Like, bitch, that shit don't matter enough. You
But
you
who?
don't understand what we deal with. You don't understand what and when I say black, I'm talking about all melanated people because I believe that we're all the same. So when we sit here and do this shit, is really like it's like clickbait, my nigga. It's trend bait. It's really soul sabotage because you're doing it to make people believe that you're on their side. And that's why I be telling people, like, for me, I rather somebody tell me in my face that they don't like me on some Donald Trump shit than to go side with somebody who's pretending that they like me. Because at that point, I go side with this person and thinking that they fuck with me, they gonna stab me in my back. Therefore, if I see this person who doesn't like me, I know that they don't like me. I already know what it is. I'm already mentally, energetically, and physically prepared because I already know that they don't fuck with me. It's a real nigga situation. You don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you, so be it. But that's the thing. Our people, our melanated people, we so quick to compromise off of something small, bro. Like it has to end, my nigga. It has to stop. And then we have to stop turning on our people on some Kanye shit.
It's because our people are under psychological warfare 24/7. We getting hit from every angle. If they not killing us with the music that they promote to our community, they're killing us with the leaders that they handpick and give us. They killing us through the fake media that they give us to create a narrative for us to think. They're killing us with the chemicals in our food and water, in our air, in our clothes. Like they're literally getting hit at all angles. And it's just like, you know, trying to figure your way out of the matrix. Everybody
Yeah.
is everybody is just trying to find their way out of the matrix right now. And there are ways out. But it's for up to everybody to find their own way, find your own path, what works for you. But you have to go within to find that, you know.
Yeah, and I mean I agree. I like one thing I fucked with about Billy Carson is he said that like when it comes to people, we think that the world's ending, right? So everybody gonna jump on the religion bandwagon. Everybody's gonna jump on, this and that. Like, I don't believe that the world is ending. I believe that the world is shifting. And either you stuck in the old vibration, or you riding the wave of the new one. And when you finally become conscious and you become aware of everything, you have a sense of, all right, bro, it's time for everything to change. Like, even with Kanye, I feel like people people get so caught up on like small details of when it comes to what Kanye is saying. And I don't like that, us, because like I said, all these extreme situations where it's blown out of proportion, it only affects us black people. Like, black people are the only ones who's really saying Kanye is crazy, right? White people don't really give a fuck, because at the end of the day, like, they're not affected by they're not affected by Kanye. He's black. He doesn't represent them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't give a fuck. So when our people see it, they like, oh, this represents us. He's crazy. Like, he can't represent us. And I don't think that we dive into the context in which he represents. Like when I heard the Hell Hitler song, and I said this before, I realized that the Hell Hitler song is about a single black dad who's struggling to see his kids, who his bank accounts was frozen. And as the black community, I heard people say, like, man, just take her to court for child support and this and that, and custody and all this, man. People be like, that's the thing. Y'all don't realize that that system has to be destroyed too. It has to be rewritten, because when you listen to the lyrics of it, it's a black man struggling to see his kids, because he should naturally see his kids, right? He's not killing his kids. He's not doing anything to harm their lives, right? And so when you hear him saying this, y'all listening to the hook, but you don't realize that being a single man, a single father, when your kids are taken from you, it's a very deep situation that you have to deal with. I mean, I dealt with it not being able to see my kids, not being able to be in their lives every day. And the thing about it is that the moment that you introduce the system into the structure of you seeing your kid, well, now someone else is in charge. But when it comes to the mom, right? Because a lot of times the kids stay with the mom, hey, she could come see her kids whenever. And a lot of times, if the kids do stay with the dad don't give a fuck if you come see your kids. Come see your kids. And that's the thing. It's like, y'all don't understand, as the people who are consumers to what's being marketed, y'all don't understand what's really happened internally. This man's kids is being taken from him. He can't see them when he wants to. He can't go get them. He can't pick them up. They hiding them from him. This and that. He gotta wait. He gotta call. He gotta deal with this. He gotta deal with that. And it's Kanye versus the Kardashians. It's not Kanye just versus Kim. It's Kanye versus the Kardashian, the household. It's like on some Game of Thrones shit. This is the house of the Kardashians. So
Mhm.
so at that point, when you listen to all these lyrics, all of us, what we should have did is we should have toned in and was like, damn, I can relate. Because I remember there was a time where I couldn't see my kid, and I had to go bang on the door, want to kick in the door because I couldn't see my kid. So guess what? I became the villain. Kanye said it. I'm the villain now. Hell Hitler. He is saying that he's the villain now. It like there's a missed message where people are like, oh, he's just being anti-Semitic. No,
Nah.
that's just something y'all threw on him. Y'all threw that on him because y'all wanted to be offended by what he's saying, because it originally started before even the Hell Hitler shit, right? It originally started with, yo, I need to see my kids. Hey, I bought a house across the street to see my kids. Travis didn't send me the address. This, and that. You know how many black men out here are suffering from that? You know how many minorities? You know how many men are suffering from not being able to see their kids? And that is the issue, is that we don't want to sit here and pay attention to what's really going on. If anything, as a man who has a child that you cannot see, and you went through the ringer of the child support system, you should be behind this anthem, because this represents you and the struggle that you had to deal with. If you went to court for child support and custody and all that shit, you know that the moment that them people got in your motherfucking business, you knew that's when your child is no longer yours, and now it became theirs because now they set the temperature, they set the rules, they set all of the regulations when it comes to seeing your kids. That's just what it is. But we don't get that shit. We lost in the sauce listening to just the headlines, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, man, like that song in particular has so many layers to it that people don't even realize. Like, not only was it about, him not being able to see his kids, but it was also he put it out there to say, look, if I put out a song saying Hail Hitler and y'all think I'm glorifying this killer, yeah, they want to stop it. But when they put out songs of other people glorifying killing black people, they don't say anything. They let those songs play on the radio. And then they sent when they were upset that he said Hail Hitler. But he said Hail Hitler, nigga. They weren't upset that he said nigga. They were just upset he said Hail Hitler. That was another thing he pointed out. It's so many layers to that, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, shit. You know, I sent it to you, like the research on it, bro. Like, pe- people have to see that, like, it's a lot that goes into it. Like he said, y'all trying to take away his freedom of speech. But if you type in the word NIGGER, so we don't get taken off of YouTube, you type that in on YouTube, and if you hit search, there's a million different options, right? But if you type in Hail Hitler on YouTube, you barely can find the video because people have to change the name. And that right there lets you know that Kanye's being censored. Why is this small context, this song being censored so much? That's the question. Why is it being censored so much? There has to be a reason because you look at all, like, bro, you look at all these songs about killing black people and this, and that. You look at all this shit and it's okay. But the moment that Kanye do it, hey, it's a big issue. It's a big no-no. And that's fucked up. And then we glorify it. We're okay with that. We're all right
yeah,
with that shit.
yeah, man, that song that's a deep song right there. Like, and then they keep calling like people. Do people know like who all the Semitic peoples are? Because Jewish people, so-called Jewish people, are not the only Semitic people. And then they keep saying Jewish people like nobody like Jewish people. Jewish is not a nationality or there's not a place called you could be a German Jewish person. You could be a Turkish Jewish person. Like for real, you're just a European who's Jewish
Mm,
because like some people, most people who are Jewish, you wouldn't know they're Jewish unless you asked them or if you saw that what they were wearing. If they were just out without their yarmulke on or whatever, or in their attire, they would just look like a regular European. And nobody talks about the Ethiopian Semitic peoples, or what I'm saying, like all up through the Arabian Semitic peoples. They just focus on this one group because of the what's the group? What's the name of the people here who the anti-Semitic group? They got a group here that every time you say something anti-Semitic, they'll send you a letter or cease and desist, or they'll say something. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I do know what you're talking about. But when you said it, I thought about the indigenous people and what they be talking about.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, bro.
I just think that it's crazy that we run with narratives and then like we never seek information, bro. It's like they say, our people perish for the lack of understanding. Like we don't we don't expound, bro. We never do the research, bro. It's like even studying like occult like books and shit like that. Like I seen this video like last year, right? That this dude had posted on he had posted on Instagram, and he was like XXX Tentacion, you know, he was into occult, stuff, and he was reading these books and he was doing dark magic and this and that, right? And so when I when I watched this video, I was like, first of all, this is a energy grab. Like this, like he's doing this for clicks because all the people who was in the comments, they was like, Jesus is the way and this and that, right? And I'm not here to knock nobody about their religion, but if you don't understand anything, throwing your religion up is like throwing a gang sign. You throwing up blood, you throwing up Crip, right? It's like Crip is the way, nigga, right? And the thing about it is like you don't even understand what occultism about. You don't understand what numerology is about. You don't understand what any of this shit is about. But yet you're quick to say that it's witchcraft based upon a movie that you watched. And then what I did is I took a screenshot of all the books that were on the shelf and I went to go look for these books. I went to go find the information on the books. What is this one talking about? Some of them was talking about sacred geometry. Some of them was talking about manifestation in the sense of the way that you talk. But the thing about it is like, why wouldn't you, if you are so godly, right? You so Christ-like, you so Christian in Jesus, why wouldn't you want to know your enemy? You get what I'm saying? Like why wouldn't you want to know what the information is? Okay, so this right here is black magic. Let me learn this shit because now that I learn this shit, I can be protected and grab my holy water. If you really this God person, this light being or peace and love or a Christian or whatever, anything along those lines where you're so peace, positivity, and God is all and this and that, why wouldn't you want to know your enemy so that you don't get caught up in your enemy's frequency? That's what I don't understand is like niggas, like, and when I'm saying niggas, I'm talking about ignorant people. Ignorant people are so easy to be caught up in what anybody say and they don't do no research, bro. XXX Tentacion, bro, when you really look at his journey, and that's I really fuck with bro a lot because when you look at his journey, right? He
Mhm.
started off in a low vibrational state, right? He started off in a violent state. His first song was "Look at Me," is super trappy, violent on some type shit, right? But when he released all his music was positive, bro. It was about healing. It was all healing music, bro. Talking about depression, overcoming depression, people that lost, people that it was literally sent to help people who were struggling with depression. But then as he got into his blue hair phase, bro, he started getting on some like, yo, meditate, deal with your feelings, be good, be a better person, be that. He started giving back to the community. He started helping and talking to his followers more. He started really getting in touch with the kids. And what I say from looking at this, you telling me this man transform into doing things positive, right? And you gonna sit here and tell me he worshiping the devil? That don't look like the devil to me, bro. The devil ain't like that, bro. That's one thing I will say. Now, y'all might think that the devil is like pitchforks and red horns and fire and all that bullshit, but that ain't the devil, my nigga. The devil doesn't do good shit for good people to help them heal. That's not what it is. If anything, the devil was more like his first song when he first came out and he was on his more low vibrational shit, but then he got into the positive shit, bro. Hey, the devil was an angel. You know what I'm saying? At that point, hey, bro, transition. And he transitioned well and he played a powerful role. And that's what I dislike about everything that happens, bro. And this is where I'm going to with this is like Kevin Gates just did an interview and he was like, yeah, I'm the angel of fear. What people did is they took that insert, right? And they put, oh, bro, Kevin Gates says he's a dark angel. He's a demon. It's like, bro, come on, bro.
What they do, man, they chop up clips and then they create a narrative around it. Like they'll chop up a clip of somebody saying something, play that one part, and then be like, "Oh, this is what they meant." But if you watch the whole thing in context, you'll be like, "That's not what they meant." And they do that all the time. And people just get worked up over words that they really don't understand. Like occult, the word occult literally means a secret or information not divulged or what's hidden. Like that's all it means. Just occult knowledge means basically knowledge that's hidden or not, widely known. And then, people are just so indoctrinated, especially when it comes to like religion. Like religion will have you, if you don't understand it, If you understand it at a base level, it'll have you feeling like you're crazy. It'll have you feeling like I know my daughter, she went to this Bible camp, and they told her that manifestation was the devil. And that confused me. And I was like, they told you that manifestation was evil? I was like, it really like confused me because I was like, to me, that's one of the closest ways to be with God is to manifest because it's you and God. God is you, you are God. Together as one, creating something, trying to manifest, or, I thought that was one of the closest ways to be with God. And they told her that that was evil. And I think it's because they want you to look outside of yourself for source. When you come from source, source is always in you. They don't want you. They won't know. They want you to say, you need us to be the middleman to God. You need to come to us. You need to read these books. You need to do all these things in order to. You need to follow these specific rules that we've set in order to be right with God. When everybody is already connected to God because we all come from God, we can have our own personal relationship with God. And that's why I had to take a step back and find my own personal journey and build my own personal relationship with God outside of, religions. Because I grew up, my mom was Baptist and my father was Muslim. So I was always like, why do you call God Allah? Why do you call God Jesus? And who is God? Jesus is God's son. How is he God? I thought he was God's son, but people are worshiping him because they know what he looks like, but they don't know what God looks like. And it just really confused me as a child, because it's like God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. So there's three gods, but everybody just knows Jesus. It's a lot to unpack, especially as a kid learning religion like that.
Yeah, I feel like if it's introduced to like build a connection with yourself as a child when it comes to like understanding God, I feel like a lot of us would be so more um conscious of our actions within the world because like Rolando said that shit like he said something like pretty dope. He was like if I'm a creation of God and you're a creation of God, why wouldn't you like in a sense like why wouldn't you love me, right? And the reason why a lot of us don't love other people, right? Like love thy neighbor is because we don't love ourselves. We've been so taught to uh focus on just this one thing, and I feel like the thing about like when it comes to even like a lot of our religious beliefs, they were placed upon us. They weren't really taught. They weren't shown to us. It was more like, yeah, you black, you're a Christian, your
You're a
mama
Baptist.
like yeah, like this is what
Mhm.
it was. It's like you created all these matrices and I never had a choice to understand it because you put it on me, and then the more I grew, the more it was like, do I really believe in this? Do I do I really believe in it? Or and a lot of people don't feel comfortable like asking these questions. Like, do you really believe in Jesus? Like for real, you put you on a lie detector test. You really believe a nigga walked on water? You really believe that? Or you afraid to say that you have doubts because what has been told to you by someone else what will happen to you if you doubt. And that's my only issue is because it's like, so you want me to be afraid of this. You want me to be afraid of hell. You want me to be afraid of all these things. You want me to love all these things. But I don't know Jesus. I never seen him walk on water. So I can't be amazed by his powers. And that sounds like something you would tell a little kid. Yeah, yo, Jesus. Like, let me tell you about my friend Jesus. He is a superhero. He can heal people, raise them for the dead. He can multiply food, and he can walk on water, and he can fly. He could fly. It sounds like a superhero. So it's like you hear these things, but then the more you get older, it's like for me, at least for me, it's like I'm lying to myself if I sit here and say that I really believe in this. And it goes with all religions. Like I to this point, I don't know how people can say that their faith is so strong when they don't even have faith in themselves, but they have faith in something outside of them. But I don't think that your faith is that strong, because if you don't have faith in yourself, then you can't truly have faith in anything else, right? So you sit here and say you gonna tell me this, right? You believe in God this much, you believe in all this shit in the Bible that you read, that you've been programmed, but you can't believe that you can accomplish something. You don't believe that you can break a bad habit. You don't believe that you can go to the gym. You don't believe that you can eat healthy. You don't believe that you could be successful. You don't believe that you could beat alcoholism. You gonna tell me that your faith is strong though? No, it's not. Your faith isn't strong because you don't even have faith in yourself. And if the kingdom is within you, my nigga, then you don't believe in God. You don't have faith in God. Because if you had faith in God, then you would have faith in yourself. And that's what be blowing me, because you want me to believe in this. If you had faith in yourself, right? Like you say you have faith in God, right? Then you wouldn't have to pray out of your situations, because your faith is so strong that you know you're going to get out of it. You know you're going to see it through. You know that you're going to get to the money. You know that you're going to be successful because your faith in you is so fucking strong that nothing could get in the way of your faith. And that right there, like, that's real organic, true faith. Other than that, you just capping. You just capping. You just doing it because you're afraid. Because fear, your fear within you is so strong. And that's why I sit here and say, I don't pray. Hey, I know that God is at the forefront of my life because I have faith in myself. I do have main character syndrome. It's always about me. I am Kanye. I am the main character. I am that nigga. I am top tier. I am the best of the best. Because
Mm.
at that point, I know God is in within, like, God is within me. And my faith in me
Yeah,
is my faith in God.
I agree. I feel like, I always took that as the interpretation because they said, Jesus said, I am the Son of God, right? So he's God's child. But then he also said, you are all God's children. So what that means to me is if we're all God's children, then we all can do the same thing that Jesus can do. We just don't know how to tap into it. We all have the same abilities to do what Jesus does. If he's a child of God and we're all God's children, Jesus, and then they say that Jesus also said not to worship him. So why do people worship him and idolize him? And idol worship in itself is a sin, I believe.
It is. Thou shalt not take no idols. It's
But
one
I
of the
mean,
10 Commandments.
it's a lot of when you start getting down, breaking things down and asking questions, sometimes you'll come back with you have questions that they can't answer. And they just say, you're not supposed to question anything. You just have to believe it. You're just supposed to believe everything that we give you. But why? Human nature is to be human is to question. It's to question existence, to question things. That's what we do. It's who we are.
I mean, that's a sign of intelligence, is to question the question,
You know,
you know?
like yeah, like why do we have all these holidays? Who made them? Why do we celebrate them? Because our parents celebrate them? Because their parents celebrate them? What do they mean? Where did they come from? Why are we on the calendar we on? Why did they change the calendar? Why did the Pope change the calendar to the Gregorian calendar when we used to have 13 months with 28 days each? It was perfectly in line. Now they had no, we're going to change the calendar. And then when you when you look at how Christianity was spread across the world, like they were literally killing people because they didn't want to convert to Christianity. They were saying no, whatever you're worshiping, whatever way you're living, if you don't want to convert, we will kill you. We will torture you. They have torture items in museums in Europe right now of things that they used to do to people who didn't want to convert to Christianity. That's how Christianity first spread. They was like, invading people's countries and telling people, you don't want to convert, you're gonna die. That's like, they recruiting. It's like forced recruitment.
Facts.
People got to look at the history of how things started, where it came from.
It made me wonder if slaves celebrated Christmas, because if Christmas been around for a long time, right? Did slaves celebrate these holidays?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, yeah, because they were if wherever they were at, that's like, did you see? And I don't know if you seen like that was a movie, but like they would convert the slaves to Christianity, and they would, whatever whatever their masters or whatever they were around, since they celebrated, then slaves celebrated it, and they picked up the customs, and everything just spread. Everyone forgot their heritage, they forgot their traditions, and they adopted the traditions of what they thought that they were supposed to. People just gave up their identities and accepted new identities like black. We're not black. Black is a color. Like, my skin's not black. This hat is black. You see my skin in this hat are two different colors. But we accept that somebody says, "Oh, I'm black. I'm black and I'm proud." You're not black. And people are not white. These are colors. People are not these colors that they're labeling. Why do we accept that? Why do you accept somebody calling you something that you're not? It's just about taking control of your reality. Say, I don't accept that. This is what it is. This is what I am. This is who I am. This is what I believe. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's facts. I think that's a good stopping point for this being the first one. We're gonna do this every Friday. I want to do it earlier. We'll start swinging around. I'm gonna make sure that I get this shit together just so that people who are a part of the channel can tap in and promote it more, bro. This is a great conversation for sure. So we gotta do this every Friday. And we gotta get this nigga Kashan on here, bro. So we could really expound. That's my word of the day.
Expound
Expound.
and build.
Um,
We got to build.
yeah, on this conversation on everything that we talking about, bro. Because I feel like people need this. People need um to understand what's going on, and they need a reminder, a mental reminder that don't just get caught up on the headlines. Dive into it. Ask what else is there more? You look at the Tory situation, there's more information. You look at the Diddy situation, there's more information. You look at the Trump, it's more information.
Yeah.
And you look at the Kanye situation, it's more information. And
Everything. There's more information. Just look at, and then don't be afraid to look at what what they're not telling you, because at the base level or the surface level of everything, there's stuff deeper. That something else is going on underneath. Why is this the thing? Why is this being talked about? You got to dissect everything, like you said. You know what I'm saying? Because they want you to look at something so that you're not looking at something else. While you're looking over here at this situation, they behind the scenes doing something else to distract you. It's just a distraction. I believe they're all distractions.
no, that's for sure. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. To anybody who's gonna watch this, man, we appreciate it. We're gonna do this next Friday.